Hey there, YouTube. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Coming to you on the 7th of July, and I'm thinking, man, this summer is kind of going fast, and I don't mind it because it is crazy hot here. In fact, I'm looking forward to our kind of what you call late summer, fall type weather, but that won't be over until October. But anyhow, we're not here to talk about the weather. Today we're going to talk about raw vegan toppings, sides, and extras to keep in your refrigerator. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go down and hit that subscribe button now and come back and check out a little bit more of my content. Make sure you hit that little bell though, so they'll send you notifications and you'll stay subscribed. The more you listen, this is just kind of general knowledge. You don't even have to necessarily eat like I do. You could apply this to almost anything, but however you're trying to eat, the more you keep things handy and ready to go, I've talked about this numerous times in the past, the more you keep things ready to go, right on hand, and I'm talking about like made and ready, where you could stick a spoon in and eat it, put it on something, use it, bam, it's ready right there. The more you keep these things handy, the less bad decisions you're going to make. People so often, almost all the time, end up eating something that they regret later, have guilt over, cry about, that they didn't want to eat, simply because they don't have that other alternative ready. They're hungry and they're like, oh, gotta have it now, and they eat it. So if you have stuff ready, if you have fruit, if you have things like I'm about to talk about now, just right on hand, you can grab them, super easy, no problem. You're more likely to make good decisions. I was thinking about this video, the whole reason I kind of thought about making it is yesterday on Instagram I made some salsa. Super easy, but people like to see these reels these days. But I can just tell you right here, salsa is something, I don't know why I don't keep it in the refrigerator all the time. I don't know why other people don't keep it in the refrigerator all the time. That simple little $25 food processor makes it perfect for me. People like different textures and consistencies, but all I do is I chop up some tomatoes, I put some tomato chunks in there, I put some onion chunks in there, I put some cilantro in there, I put a few pieces of jalapeno in there, and I squeeze some lime juice in there. And I would suggest if you're making it with a food processor, just use that pulse button, because if you hit blend, it'll get it into a liquid real soon. But you can hit that pulse button, and you can get it. You can get chunky, or you can get it down to a little bit finer. And a lot of these also too, like a lot of the toppings and sides and things that I'm talking about today, if you're raw people, these are also things that are great to help other people maybe in your household or other people that you're eating with, because it tastes good. I mean, a lot of these things, okay, like the salsa. Salsa goes on everything. A lot of times when people make potatoes, like I'll put salsa on my sweet potatoes, but you can put them on like just a baked Idaho potato as well, instead of what most people do that eat a standard American diet. So it is a healthy alternative. If you've got people in the house that are eating potatoes and slathering them up with butter and sour cream, you put some salsa on there. It's super clean, it's super healthy, and it's very tasty. And salsa goes on anything. I'm serious, it goes on anything. I've actually done salads before where I just put enough kind of wet sides on there, or wet toppings on there, that I don't even need to use a salad dressing. Another one that I've talked about a lot, real popular in the South, good for salads, good for black-eyed peas, good for anything you eat, is a nice little mixture. Cut yourself up some tomatoes, some cucumber, some onion. Squeeze a little lemon juice in there. Let's see what else. Maybe put just a tad of Bragg's aminos in there. Put just a splash of apple cider vinegar in there. Put a splash of balsamic vinegar in there, unless that's against your holy rules. Don't use the balsamic. Put a little bit of sea salt, a little bit of pepper in there, shake it up a little bit, keep that in the fridge. Really good stuff. Also goes on top of everything, and that's just a fresh one. I mean, we used to keep that around a lot in the summer. If you grew up in the South, you probably, if you're older, you might have grown up at a table where there was always like some sliced tomato or cucumber on the table to go with food. Another one, and I'm going to put a link down below. This is a little bit hardier. You can use this on salad. You can use this as a dip. You can use this, you could have your salad, you could have this on the side as a dip, or you could have it just kind of as a snack to get you through if you're having a craving or something. And it's a sunflower seed cheese. And it's somebody that I follow on Instagram, and I'm going to give you a link to the recipe, but I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Sunflower seeds aren't expensive. This doesn't have a lot, really doesn't have any expensive ingredients in it, and it's very tasty. It makes more of a dip. It's not like a solid cheese when I'm talking about that, but it's super, super tasty. I just made some last week, probably going to have a little bit today, so I'll put a link down below to that one. That's a really good one. That's good for adding a little heartiness to your salad. You know, maybe you're using a fat-free dressing on your salad and you want just a little bit of fat in there. You want something a little bit more savory. Put yourself a scoop of that on there. You can put yourself a scoop of that on a salad. You can put some sauce on a salad. You can mix all this stuff up. Have fun. And you probably, the purpose of this isn't so much to give you set recipes, but just to let you think some of the things that you like to include in your salads, toppings, maybe even just like things you put on your fruit. Just always think handy and keeping something at hand. Another one that I will put a link down below to, though, that are two of mine, is there are two dips. There are two dips. One I think is with zucchini. I haven't made it in a while, and another one is with eggplant. It's almost like a little eggplant dip. Not quite like it's a little thicker than a baba ganoush, but it's real tasty. Maybe like 2 or 3 ingredients, and it's super simple. I'll put a link to my video down below. That's an old video, about 3 years old, and you're probably going to want to fast forward through. You don't want to watch the whole video over because these recipes were so short, so easy, that I didn't feel like I needed to do a whole video on it. But check those out. Those are super good. Those are also all these things too, like that sunflower seed cheese, or either of these dips, or the salsa. These are all good things to carry to parties, to get-togethers. You're going to a family celebration. You're going to the beach for the day. You take these things. You know what? We just got finished with the 4th of July. You know what happens all on these holidays where people go to the beach, they do picnics, they take food with them. They use so much of that nasty stuff like mayonnaise and eggs and stuff, they end up getting food poisoning from it. So that's another bonus. You take these to the beach, they're super healthy. You're not going to have to worry about them spoiling and getting you sick. But, and also one last little thing here I'll suggest is I don't eat crackers, and I don't make crackers in a dehydrator, although that sounds really interesting, and if I was ever around somebody that made their own crackers, I'd definitely eat them. But I've always used for these dips, and I've used them for the sunflower seed and my 2 dips and a lot of other things, sometimes even just salsa, are cucumber chips. Get yourself a cucumber for 50, 60 cents. Chop it up into little chips and you scoop in, get your dip like that. And that is so much healthier than eating chips. And one thing you're going to find, it's not even like it's a poor substitute, because when you're eating the chips, you're eating just processed fat, oil, all sodium, all that kind of stuff. And it kind of, there's a flavor to that, though. I'm not trying to tell you they're not good. What I'm getting at, though, is you get a little bit more of the pure taste of the dip or the dressing or whatever you're using with when you just have something kind of like a cucumber that's not overwhelming, doesn't have a lot of taste to it. So that's something else I like to keep around the house. I will say this, I like to always have a cucumber around the house, and I'm not always using them, so I've wasted a cucumber or 2 in my time. But anyhow, I just thought that might be a little simple trick that would help you just keep stuff around. And like, they're not, I've talked in the past, like keep fruit chopped up in your refrigerator, keep fresh fruit juices in your refrigerator. Handy, handy, handy. A lot of times if you're hungry and you're having that craving, if there's not something right there at that second, you might make a bad decision. So just my 2 cents worth. Hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. Hope you're having a beautiful week. I do have a couple more videos this week, or I've got at least one more video this week. I might do 2. I'm going to do one kind of talking about a meditation subject tomorrow or the next day, but check in even if you're not interested in the meditation. I try to work the messages from the videos I do about that into just stuff you can use in everyday life and not necessarily where you have to go sit down and meditate. So y'all have a beautiful day. Peace.